According to Google reports, the most popular search in the UK around June 24 was "What is the European Union?", while the most popular in America was "What is Brexit?". For those who did not Google it and still don't know what it is, we have a brief explanation of it all. The European Union, a one big happy community founded in 1993, or at least it was until June 24 of this year. It all started when the United Kingdom population was asked through a referendum if they should leave the European Union. The majority voted in favor of leaving so they could become a great independent nation once again. The idea was mainly supported by the UKIP, the United Kingdom Independence Party, most of the members of the Conservative Party, and some members of the Labour Party, while the opposition was mainly the Prime Minister and the members of his government, the Labour Party, the SNP, the Scottish National Party, the Wales Plaid Cymru, and the Liberal Party. The reasons why the motion was presented in the first place are because these members of the politics believe that A. The UK should regain control of their own borders in order to reduce the number of immigrants. B. That the policies of the European Union are not allowing the UK to have a proper economic development. And C. That their political and law system is independent enough and should not depend on external policies.
According to James Denison and Noah Carl, researchers in political participation, the decision taken by the British population might be due to three main reasons. First, their history and their monarchy. Second, their particular culture. And for last, simply geography, and they all can be summarized in the existence of a self-identity that is not Europe. First, Britain is the only European power not to have been occupied during the Second World War. Second, Britain has its own common law legal system, which contrasts with the civil law system of continental Europe. Third, because Britain has an established church, most British Christians have historically owed their allegiance to a national institution headed by the monarch, rather than to an international institution headed by the Pope. It is important to mention that the celebration of the victory of Brexit did not only take place in the UK, but also in Vienna, where members of the extremist right-wing parties from France, but also the extremists of Holland, among other countries, gathered to celebrate the UK is going to regain their sovereignty and national power, leaving aside the community trying to create a self-sustaining economy. However, even if the people have spoken through their votes, Brexit requires negotiation between UK and the EU, and it is estimated that the definite withdrawal will take place in 2019.
We would like to make an analysis of the main characters in this issue and some others involved in the matter, in order to determine whether they are a community, an institution, or a social group, and how those tags play roles in this discussion. On one side, we have the European Union, which is commonly called the European Community as well, because they share the same values and beliefs, like being inclusive, tolerant, and supportive nations, as well as democracy policies and a strong respect for human rights. However, this union is actually more than that. It is also an institution. As an institution, they have common political, social, and economic interests, and they try to create just one big generalized identity. by implementing a series of norms and rules. For example, the use of euro as the only currency and the creation of the Schengen area. Now, every and each of the 28 members of the Union represent a community and an institution at the same time. The first one is built upon their practices, beliefs, values, and even the love of their nation. National symbols such as flags reinforce it. While the second one is the tag the nations receive if they are considered states as well, which means they have laws, a government structure, sovereignty, and an international recognition. Usually, inside every country's political structure, there's parties and each of them is considered as a social group. Because they recognize their members, they share some activities, and have a common aim based on their beliefs and thoughts. For example, the ones from the extreme right wing in France and Holland that support Brexit. They gather to make parties from other countries and make political campaigns.
On the other hand, we have the United Kingdom. This union includes four principal countries, which they are Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and obviously England. Individually, they are communities and institutions in the same way the countries of the Arab Union are, but together they create one big community and one big institution. They share a flag on the sense of belonging to one category that shares practice and beliefs, and they also have one political organ and structure that includes even other countries like Canada. This part of the Commonwealth. Their parliamentary organization and set of rules and objectives make them an institution. Inside the parliamentary structure, the parties are the ones that have active participation in the decision-making process. These parties are considered social groups, as well as the parties in the Arab Union.
Now, the key to the whole issue are two main communities inside the UK, the Brexit and the Remain. It is possible to call them a community because they have all the characteristics that are needed. First, they have a social knowledge about their environment and function as a society, and that knowledge makes them believe that they should be independent or they should not. Second, they share ideas, like the one that stands the UK should take control of their own policies and decisions, or the one that stands that the UK should remain a dependent member of the EU. Third, they believe in certain common features that make them exclusive, and that is why the social exclusion and marginalization takes place in both communities, because even if they remain part of the EU, they are not part of the Schengen area or share currency with them. Finally, they are a source of empowerment that, through civil participation, helps to decide the future of the UK, whether it's to gain an individual identity once again or to remain as a part of a bigger union.